As you know by now, I am recently married a couple of weeks ago, September 27th, 2013, on a Friday, and I thought I would use this opportunity to share with you and anyone that you might know who is in the business of getting married, if you're getting married or if any friends are, etc., some advice that I've learned just coming away and reflecting over the past couple weeks. The first one is a bit obvious coming from me. I'm a videographer, a wedding videographer by trade. That's my day job. So first and foremost is get a wedding videographer. Now this sounds pretty self-serving to me, and obviously I'm biased. But you know, there's everything that brides say about, oh, you know, the day went by so fast and I didn't get to see everything that happened. There was a very specific moment during my ceremony. Not even like while I was getting ready or like late in the night at the reception. During my ceremony, our officiant was doing a reading from, I think, Shall We Dance? And I looked him in the eyes and I realized that I wasn't absorbing any of it. Like, I mean, part of it is that I was trying to keep myself from hyperventilating. Apparently I had turned pale. Minor tip, when you're up there at the altar, if you're about to go crazy, in the nose, out the mouth. So I was doing that the entire time and grinning from ear to ear, of course, happiest day of my life. And I'm looking at the officiant and I'm realizing that none of it would be remembered past the 2 seconds it stays in short-term memory. It all sounded very nice, but I don't remember pretty much a single word from the ceremony itself. So having that on video is something that will be invaluable to remembering the day. Branching off from there to something else that I'm familiar with through work is your photographer. If you have a great, like, world-class photographer, or even one that you look on his website and he shows you stuff in the office, he's got a lot of really cool shots, for the love of Pete, do not only give him an hour to work on photos between the ceremony and your grand entrance. We did that, and I'm happy with the photos we got, I think. I haven't seen them yet. It's been a really busy time at work, obviously. That's why you're getting vlogs. I haven't seen the photos, but just trying to remember back and see what we got. I mean, I'll be happy with them. I think they'll be a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see them. But we could have gotten a lot more if we'd given more time, and there's 2 ways to do this. Number 1, your cocktail hour can be longer than an hour. Have it be 2 hours, a half an hour to get all the photos with your family, with mom and your mom-in-law and the parents and all the sisters, and with grandma. Give an hour for getting photos. Like half an hour maybe with the wedding party and half an hour with just the 2 of you and your photographer getting some really beautiful, sweet stuff. And then a half an hour to go back and enjoy your cocktail hour. I didn't get to enjoy my cocktail hour. We had some awesome hors d'oeuvres picked out and I didn't get to have a single one. Guests were like, oh, I filled up on the hors d'oeuvres, I could barely have dinner. I'm like, that must have been nice. We had a couple sips of a drink and some cheese. The other option is you can keep your cocktail hour at 1 hour, do your family photos, and then enjoy your cocktail hour because you may have done all of your photos before the ceremony at the first look. And this is something that I personally was opposed to. I wanted the first time that I saw my beautiful bride to be when she was walking down the aisle. But it's gaining in popularity. It's when you see her for the first time and you do your photos and you do your wedding party photos, you know, a couple hours before your ceremony, and it gives you a lot of time to have really nice photography and videography done, and it's kind of some alone time together before your ceremony comes in and all of a sudden you're thrust into all of your friends and family that you've invited. If I had done a first look, I probably would have hyperventilated a little less during the ceremony. I don't regret that. I do regret not leaving more time for photos afterwards. So again, it's up to you, but if you have a photographer with all those cool shots that he shows you, he's not going to get those if he only has a little bit of time to do so. Alright, moving on from those and the stuff that's related to my work, keep your wedding for yourself. You are the one that's getting married. Your mother is not. Your mother-in-law is not. They've gone through that. You are the one who is getting married. It is your day. Now, we lucked out in that we were planning our wedding in the capital region of New York, and my family is from Central New York, and Steph's family is from Long Island, so we had a lot of autonomy working on that, and the only stipulation we were really given anyway was no costume wedding, which is fine with me. I wanted to start with something traditional. If your parents are more intrusive and overbearing, I don't have first-hand advice for you. A friend of mine ultimately said screw it, and they went to Hawaii and got married on a beach, and then came back and said, okay, fine, now we can plan a reception. So that might be something to consider. Again, I haven't done that personally, so that's not first-hand advice from me, but still something that might be worth thinking about if you feel your day getting away from you. We started with a traditional day, and then we added all the little sci-fi, fantasy, geek, nerd touches. This was our cake topper. Has the date, our names, and dragons kissing. Focus. Focus. Focus! Oh, whatever. We went on, we had more dragon-themed stuff, the serving set, our champagne flutes, the champagne flutes that we got our parents. Meanwhile, we designed the music to be very movie score. Steph came down the aisle to a Final Fantasy bridal overture that someone had arranged on flute. You can find a link to that in the description. And we left to the Star Wars A New Hope throne room / end titles. And then we put more stuff together for, you know, the grand entrance for our wedding party coming in. Our parents came into the Olympic theme. We cut the cake to an instrumental version of Still Alive from the game Portal. Some of you know why, and some of our friends there just started laughing, but on its own, it's a really sweet song. So it was our wedding, and we did our thing. And they were our guests that we knew we would be entertaining with that. One thing that we did that was really, really neat and unique was that the people who caught the bouquet in the garter, instead of going for the creepy, he's gonna put it up her leg, how far does it go, this is sketchy and weird, we had them fight with Nerf swords. I cannot wait to get the video from that and see how many hits I missed while counting the points. So that should be fun. It's obviously clear stuff like that with your reception venue, and make sure the DJ knows and everything like that. Work with your vendors, but keep it your own, and don't let anyone tell you what to do if you don't want to do it. And lastly, a little bit of advice for afterward. Now, obviously, there's could be a little bit more during the day. Sorry, my feet are uncomfortable. And lastly, a little bit of advice for afterward. Now, there could be more during the day that I'm not getting to, that I haven't thought of yet. We'll see more when photos come out and I'll remember something and whatever. For your honeymoon, go in the off-season. Again, you saw that Niagara Falls thing, and here Marineland was dead, and the thoroughfares in Niagara weren't crowded, and it was a lot of fun, and it was a little more intimate. So if you can go in the off-season, do that. We're also doing an off-season cruise in January. Honeymoons, 2 are better than 1. Even if you get married in the busy season, find a place whose off-season is right around when you get married, or just delay your honeymoon. We almost did that. We almost just did the cruise in January and did that staycation stuff around here, Howe Caverns and things like that. So, I mean, don't be opposed to not... Yeah, don't be opposed to not having... Is that right? That's a double negative, but I think it's working. Don't be afraid to have your honeymoon be further away from your wedding date. It's totally okay. And if you're not doing it during a busy tourist season, you're probably going to enjoy it a lot more. So, yeah. So I think that's it. Hopefully this is advice that you might be able to use, or someone that you know might be able to use. So I hope it's been helpful, and I will see you next week. Oh, and if you're going to get your name changed, obviously as you would do after getting married, don't do so when the government is shut down because you can't do it.